Hello guys and welcome to this week newsreel. Bogdan here, your host for the next couple of minutes, and without losing precious time here with lengthy introductions, I will jump to the quiz question for this week, and it goes like this. Who was the largest importer of natural pearls in the world in 2020 in terms of value? And the options here are Australia, Indonesia or Japan. And guys, the correct answer, believe it or not, is Australia with some $11 million worth of imports, some 90% of them coming from Indonesia. So with this section covered, I will now move on to the Fritas Index, which guess what guys, was down again, and we're having $9,430 for the general one, with big movers here involving the sub-index connecting North Europe to North America East Coast, was up 15%, and the sub-index connecting North America East Coast to China, who was down 5%. As for the main trades, for the Trans-Pacific head holds, we're having $15,889 for the sub-index connecting China to North America West Coast, and $17,386 for the one connecting China to the North American East Coast. As for the crossways ones, here the index is reacting more abruptly, if you want, at least if I'm considering the sub-index connecting China to North Europe, who fell 3%, translating in absolute terms to $12,314, and only 1% drop in the other sub-index connecting China to the Mediterranean, which in absolute terms sat at $13,555. But guys, sadly or not, depending of course on where you're standing, these sub-indexes will be heavily affected by what is happening right now in China. Shanghai, to be more precise, just when you thought that the global supply chains could not get any more messed up and disrupted. And this brings me to my first news coming from npr.org. As Chinese authorities, in their COVID-19 zero tolerance pursuit, began locking down most of its largest city, industrial and logistics hub, that is Shanghai, as of this morning until Friday. Sadly, at the moment I'm recording this video, there are no customer advisories coming from the major shipping lines or logistics companies. So I don't know exactly how this lockdown will impact the logistics or the manufacturing activities taking place in Shanghai. But my personal guess is that given the critical importance of these sectors, coupled also with the financial one, well, I think that for these sectors, for the time being, we will not witness major disruptions. Of course, if the cases don't increase exponentially, which might trigger additional shutdowns. So supply chain professionals, importers and exporters, keep a close eye on what is going on in Shanghai right now. It has a black swan potential to further blow up the supply chains. And guys, without anything else to add here, I will now move on to my second news, which is coming from containernews.com. And here I will be very briefly and point out some of the investment plans that Ocean Network Express has for the next couple of years. And basically one's strategy is to focus on their core activity, which is, guess what, shipping, with plans of investing into acquiring capacity every year, either through leasing or owning them, the new vessels, with this being basically the first investment pillar, while another important one is to gain terminal assets from their parent companies, which are MOL, NYQ and K-Line, which all merged in 2017 to establish Ocean Network Express. According to Alphaliner Top 100 here, one is operating a capacity of roughly 1.5 million TEU with some 208 vessels, from which 84 of them are owned and 124 chartered. Almost two-thirds from these chartered vessels belonging to the parent companies, and also according to Alphaliner Top 100, Ocean Network Express has an order book of 25 vessels with some 327,000 TEUs capacity. So no investments in logistic capabilities, no major acquisition of other shipping companies, niche shipping companies or logistics providers, only capacity and basically controlling strategic stakes in terminal assets. And guys, I'm wondering if this somehow prudence is related to their long-term strategy, or I don't know, they are thinking that the current market in terms of vertical integration is way too inflated and will suffer a major contraction. And guys, whatever the correct answer is, I'm sure that we will be here to find out together. And without anything else to add here, I will now move on to my next news. I think it's the third one, coming from ING Think, and it's about the Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index for Eurozone. So basically, it measures the activity level of purchasing managers in the manufacturing sector. And I don't know, reading this index, what's above 50 indicates expansion in the sector, and what's below 50, well, it means contraction. And what the analyst from ING says is that basically we're still under the influence of some strong sedative, but most probably the effects will dissipate and we will feel the pain. I don't know if this is the best analogy, but the idea is that the PMI fell from 55.5 to 54.5 in March, meaning that the first weeks of the Russia-Ukraine war have not caused output to drop in the Eurozone, while the manufacturing PMI suffered from input prices, causing it to slide from 58.2 to 57. And guys, it not might sound a big drop, but I don't know, put this in the context of high energy prices, dampened consumption caused by lower purchasing power and subsequently inflation, or I don't know, no real wage increase, well, you have the perfect recipe for high uncertain times ahead. And this time government intervention with the so-called airplane money is not going to be an option. And I do agree with the analyst from ING here that the months ahead are going to be very bumpy, not only for the Eurozone countries, but also for the other members of the European Union who are not currently part of the single currency zone. And I might add here that this will have ripple effects also on most of the European countries outside the European Union who are very strongly connected to the EU supply chains. So tough times ahead for the European Union and Europe in general. And moving away from this pessimistic scenario, I will now jump to my last news. So bear with me. It's coming from the EU Commission on Trade, as basically it seems that each week there is a new anti-dumping duties on Chinese imports, and this time we're having calcium silicon that are essential for the production of special steels. As an investigation from the EU Commission following a complaint from Euroalliage, which is the Association of European Ferroalloy Producers, found that imports coming from China are being substantially dumped on the EU market, and in response the Commission will impose duties ranging from 31.5 to 50.7% on imports of calcium silicon from China, in order to support EU calcium silicon industries based in Europe, although this press release specifies only France and Slovakia. But anyways, I really have to give it to the EU Commission here. So thank you, President Ursula von der Leyen, for taking care of this thing. taking care of the union producers. And I don't know, maybe next time you will be kind enough to wake up from her hibernation period, also Commissioner Vestager from the competition committee, in order to see what that she has to say about, I don't know, the alliances, the conferences, or the vertical integration of the shipping companies. I don't know, it's just a thought. So anyways, guys, this was all for today. Thank you all for taking some of your time to watch me and hear me perorate. Thank you again. I hope you've enjoyed it, and as usual, until next time, keep your business safe. Thanks.